Further afield, China is now EU's biggest trading partner after overtaking the United States in the year 2020. China backed a wider trend as trade with most of Europe's major partners dipped due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Trade between China and the EU was worth $709 billion last year, compared with $671 billion worth of imports and exports from the US. Here are those details. This and other stories from across the globe.
Although China's economy cratered in the first quarter due to COVID-19 pandemic, its economic recovery later in the year fueled demand for EU goods. China was the only major global economy to see growth in 2020, stoking demand for European cars and luxury goods. China's exports to Europe benefited from strong demand for medical equipment and electronics. Although the US and the UK remain the EU's largest export markets, trade with both countries dropped significantly. Trade with the United States recorded a significant drop in both imports at 13.2% and exports 8.2%, the data agency disclosed. Meanwhile, COVID-19 restrictions have negatively impacted on the beer industry in Germany. Bars and restaurants are still closed and football stadiums are empty, all of which spells crisis for the quintessential German brew. Sales have plummeted across the sector, with some small breweries taking a huge financial hit. The average brewery in Germany has seen a 23% loss, but the smaller ones have been hit with losses as large as 80%. Compared to 2019 sales, the drop represents 500 million liters. Finally, the Maldives, an Indian Ocean island archipelago practically synonymous with romance, normally sees north of 1.7 million visitors per year. But in 2020, it only had around 500,000, and despite the significant decrease, it marks one of the most successful tourism stories amid the pandemic. While many other destinations slammed their borders closed, the Maldives chose to fully reopen to travelers from any country, regardless of the status of the virus there in July 2020. According to data from Michigan State University, tourism contributes 28% of the Maldives' GDP, one of the highest totals in the world. The country's geography also lends itself well to coronavirus protocols. Countries around Asia and the Pacific have been more cautious about reopening than those in Europe and North America, meaning that tourists in the region had few options for places to go.